Hello and welcome to Opinions Plus. Um, first, I'm trying a new backdrop here. Like your opinion about it. And, does the backdrop make any difference? Um, I think it looks pretty good. but, so, you know, but your voices mean something. So I appreciate your impressions. Um, but the subject today is one that really touched me because the significance of what is being said, not just the outright statement, though it is important. Many of you might be aware of Ken Paxton. He was the Attorney General for this, or still is, I guess, for the state of Texas. Now, Texas, to me, is in a state of flux, morally, politically, in many ways. But the down home, good, Bible Belt Republican, stalwart Christians are really, you wonder what's happening there. But Mr. Paxton was impeached, by the House of Representatives in the state of Texas. And the Senate, as it did with Trump, voted not to impeach Paxton. He's had the amount of evidence out there is quite a bit, staggering, really. Plus, he's got a wife that's a state representative and a mistress that he employs. For the good, wholehearted family values stuff in the Republican Party, these guys are a mess. They used to be examples, and there were flaws, of course, but there used to be examples of some type of stability and a stalwart representation of what is right. But that is no more. There's no understanding in many of these people as to what is right. And it seems to be a lot in the Republican side of things, that they are questioning morals, decency, honor, commitment, responsibility, so many things. Democrats too, like Menendez there in Jersey is being indicted for serious allegations, serious problems. Nobody is free, and Menendez had the problems before. What do they call it? A leopard doesn't change its spots and that kind of thing. Yet these people continue to act in governmental fashion, and the people presume that there's some level of responsibility that's built into their bones, into their DNA. Well, that is no more. When I mentioned it about Romney, when he left or is leaving, walking away from his responsibility, in my mind. He may not think so. He thinks he's done a good job, I guess, and that's all you can do. But here's the leaders doing nothing, saying nothing, acting as if this is just regular, everyday stuff. Which brings me back to the topic. Dabe Phelan, who was the Speaker of the House in the state of Texas, who, led the charge, or one of the people leading the charge to impeach this Paxton character. he seems to be a stand-up guy. Now, there's a lot of history back there. You know, power is not pure. Power is bad. Power corrupts. Always has, always will. How much it corrupts, that's the question. Some people, it's 100%. Look at Giuliani. Look at Trump. I mean, I don't know about his background, but my gosh. Well, I know a little bit about it. I've heard him on, some of these shows before he was a politician. And he hasn't changed his spots. Same type of person. But anyway, this Dabe, D-A-B-E, not Dave, Phelan, Speaker of the House, state of Texas. In response to the Senate acquitting Paxton of all charges, and now Paxton's back to doing his attorney general's, stuff. Now, there's many other lawsuits and other things going on as well. It's not just this one deal. There might be justice done, who knows? But justice is far from being done in today's society. It is just not there. It never really was completely done to the way one would like to think justice should be. That justice permeates the justice system. Justice is blind, all these statements, but it is not blind. It's not right or wrong. Well, Dabe, in his, I'm going to quote a little bit in part, not much, but in part, because it has to do with fundamental values, foundational values. Now, he didn't write this. He was writing in response to the Senate not impeaching Paxton, and he just felt it important to say these things. But in his addressing this, he said the representatives, the House of Representatives, the people who voted to impeach Paxton in this political environment they find themselves today, said that they sacrificed their reputations and careers to fight against misconduct. This is the Speaker of the House in the state of Texas saying that the people who voted for impeachment and others who promoted this have sacrificed, quote, sacrificed their reputations and careers to fight against misconduct. And he goes on. But that statement in itself is amazing to me. What type of corruption is there present in these communities that fighting against misconduct, you're sacrificing your potential to sacrifice your reputation and career? What reputation? If you're sacrificing, your reputation in an environment that's so, filled with indiscretions and lies and misconduct of many types, how is that a sacrifice? You should be praised. You should be well, not praised. You're doing your job. Why the heck would you be praised for doing your job? But you should be supported. You should be patted on the back. You should say, yeah, good job there, House of Representatives. But no, they are being, because a lot of these representatives, they're not like the $175,000 Congress people here in the federal government. They don't get paid that much. They get paid, but they don't get paid that much. And it's a statement of what what is happening in the state of Texas as well as around the country. It is not unique to the state of Texas, although the state of Texas, it does have its problems. I mean, it definitely does. I live down there, and man, it's got its problems. Now, he also said, Mr. Phelan, Speaker of the House, State of Texas, in standing by the people who voted for and the charges that were done, he says about the House and those who supported the impeachment, quote, I stand by them, the people who did all this, who voted against, in full support of their decision, and their decision in this case was to impeach Ken Paxton, Attorney General, and recognize the sacrifices they made in the name of what is right. Quote, I stand by them in full support of their decision and recognize the sacrifices they made in the name of what is right. End quote. Come on now, let's get real. Sacrifices in the name of what is right? What kind of environment are these people living in? How are they legislating decent moral laws? Come on, voters. Vote. Vote for people of character. Vote. Get engaged. Vote for someone who has some decency, some backbone, Now, you can't look inside their hearts, obviously. Obviously. But you can make a decision based on their character, what you see of their character. That's all you can do. Character means a hell of a lot more than just positions and policies and all that stuff. Character, do what is right, keeping hope alive, enhancing the values, the characters, the level of integrity in their institutions. Not minimizing it, not negating it, not fighting against it, not creating an environment in which you are praising people to do just what they should do. Please, let us stop this. It's up to you, the voter. You, me, the voter. Whoever can listen to this, whoever has a conscience, it's up to us. Not up to them anymore, because they're not leading. You don't know Dabe Phelan at all. But what he said there is telling. Let's stop it. Let's get on the stick. Let's stop voting for these cheats and grifters. Now, there's a grift in a lot of things, man. Don't underestimate the level of grift. Nobody is pure. I don't know, there's just nobody is pure. Christ was the only pure person in the Christian belief. That's it. Nobody else. Neither was, St. Paul or St. John. They all were flawed because they were humans. Let's stop this. Let's vote for decency and honor. Bring that back, and it's up to you to do it. Those leaders will not do it. I had hopes for people like Romney. He failed me. Yeah, he did some decent things, but he failed me as a leader. Am I a leader? I guess I could be. Zelensky came up from being a comedian into a statesman of the world today. Anybody could do it. We're just people. He's just a person. Biden's just a person. I'm just a person. You're just a person. Everybody's got value. Let's do it. But don't make an environment where it's, the recognizing the sacrifices they made in the name of what's right. What kind of environment is that? that legislature body in the state of Texas, or anywhere, or in our federal body of legislation. Do what is right. Let the consequence follow. Do what is right. Go to the good. You know what the heck the good is. Do it. And it certainly isn't lying and cutting down and demeaning and debasing others and cheating and stealing and all this other nonsense and grifting. My gosh, please stop supporting the grift. Thanks for listening. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, and let's keep hope alive. Go to the good. Hit the like button. It does something on whatever. But spread the word. We have to keep going to the good. Examples like this are all over the place. I only hear an infinitesimal amount of what's happening. There's a lot of good out there. Don't get me wrong. Don't focus on the bad, but you got to act against the bad. You don't act against the good. You act against the bad. The bad is no good. Do something about it. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day.